Grand risings to each and all. Good to be alive in the spirit of Mott in the Wosei community. Before I get started with this sermon preparation, I want to sing a song, if it's all right with you. Yeah. And it goes like this. So this is a part of an extenuation of the message that I've called to bring forward. And so it's called The Light of Amun-Ra is Mine. The light of Amun-Ra is mine. I'm gonna let it shine. I'm gonna let it shine. This light is mine. If I let it shine, I'm gonna let it shine. This light is the spirit of Mott in me. This light is the power of Septepi. This light is truth and love to set me free. Amun-Ra gave the light to me. The light of Amun-Ra is mine. And I'm gonna let it shine. I'm gonna let it shine. This light is mine. If I let it shine, yeah, I'm gonna let it shine. At work, at play, all along the way, building unity and prosperity with a friend in need of a loving deed. I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, with everyone I know, even in my home, when I'm all alone, with all my heart and soul, gonna reach that goal. I'm gonna let it shine. This light is the spirit of Mott in me. This light is the power of Septepi. This light is truth and love to set me free. Amun-Ra gave the light to me. The light of Amun-Ra is mine. I'm gonna let it shine. I'm gonna let it shine. Yeah, yeah, yeah. This light is mine. If I let it shine, I'm gonna let it shine. It's the light of control of thoughts and actions. It's the light of living with purpose. It's the light to overthrow ignorance, fear, and hate. It's the power of our sacred African way. So let's rise up, sisters and brothers, let's rise the sacred African way. Let the light shine through you and me every night and day. Let's rise up in the sacred African way. Let's rise the sacred African way. Let's rise the sacred African way. Ashe, give me thanks and praises, Holy One, for this day of life, health, and strength. Yet another day you called upon us to let the light of your truth, of your beauty, of your goodness to shine within our hearts and souls and to share that shining light near and far wherever we go. Thank you for this community, Wosei. Thank you for these sisters and brothers of this community, their commitments, of their desires, of their determination, their energies. Allow this community to grow, to allow this sacred way to spread, to bring others of our people into this spirit, into this consciousness, into this light of truth, beauty, and love. May these words that I feel led by your spirit to bring forward as a message for this community on this day be pleasing, acceptable in your sight, be beneficial and uplifting for we, your people, as we continue endeavoring to follow, to know, to build upon the sacred African way. By the power of your spirit within, I raise those words and say, Ashe, Amun-Ra. Ashe, Amun-Ra. So indeed, Wosei, sisters and brothers, I've been led to bring a message here and called Does the Loving Light of Amin Ra Shine in You? Does the loving light of Amin Ra shine in you? And passages from the Hosea, from the book of Knowing Creations, passage number 3 on page 7. We find these words. These are words spoken by the one whose names are hidden, Lord of all, the one who speaks before those who silence the storm during the sailing of the company of Ra. Hail and peace. I repeat to you the 4 good deeds which my own heart and mind did for me in the midst of the serpent coil of evil in order to silence the turmoil. I did 4 good deeds on the threshold of the horizon. I created the 4 winds so that every person might breathe in his or her time and space. This is one of the deeds. I created the great flood for irrigation so that the humble might benefit from it like the great. This too is one of the deeds. I made every person like his or her fellow, and I did not command them to do evil. It was in their own heart and mind, which caused them to disobey that which I commanded. This too is one of the deeds. I made the hearts of men and women so that they would not forget the day of death, so that sacred offerings might be made to the divine powers of the districts. And this too is one of the deeds. Thus, I have created the divine powers from my sweat and humankind from the tears of my eye. And I'd like to read a passage from the book of Ptahhotep on page 48, passage number 20. If respect for right exists in the hearts of those who have been set in authority, they will be beneficent always, and their wisdom shall endure forever. The heart of the wise rejoices when wisdom is established and is happy when it prospers on earth. The wise are known by their wisdom and the great by their good actions. Their heart is in harmony with their tongue. Their lips are true when they speak. Their eyes see rightly, and their ears hear that which is profitable for their children, so that they may do what is right and are free from unrighteousness.
Okay.
And thirdly, I want to read a passage from a book by Dr. Wade Nobles, who has adopted a name for himself, Nanakwake Berko. Manakwaku Berko, Dr. Wade Nobles. A book called Seeking the Sakua. In it, he shares with us that Africans were the first people to develop codes of conduct that directed social life and family purpose. In Kemetic thought, the 3 basic attributes of the life process which the family system had to direct and guide were desire, thought, and action. The development cycle was thought to reflect a process wherein desire was followed by thought, which in turn was followed by action, which gave rise to further desire. This was considered the spiritual or wheel of life. And its aim was to perfect each cycle until all desire became pure love and all thought became clear understanding and all actions became acts of sacrifice or service for the benefit of the whole. Does the light, the loving light of Amen Ra shine in you? Well, in that first reading, we get some of the clear understandings of some of our Kemetic ancestors regarding the creative rays of light that the Most High generated from his or her heart and mind in order to silence the serpent coil of evil. I just like to focus on the third and fourth of those expressions regarding the bringing into being of the humankind. With every person being made like his or her fellow and not commanded to do evil, but we're commanded to do, to be, to become rays of truth, rays of beauty, rays of goodness. Each and all the humankind were and are brought into being with hearts, with minds, enabling them to envision the cycles of life, including the day of death, and the freedom to choose the path of life, that path that would inspire sacred offerings when the day of death was to be encountered by their lives. As we hear expressed today, and I thought in a very meaningful way, that this is a time when those ancestors who've gone before us and have done beautiful things, have been struggled for liberation, struggled for reparation. Those ancestors who've gone before us, we remember their names. We call out their names. We remember their spirits. We want them to be with us. Not only when we gather for worship service, we want them to be with us as we are at home doing the things that we need to do at home. Be with us as we go to work. Be with us as we encounter the madness, the evil in this world we have to deal with. If we let the light of truth, beauty, and goodness shine in us when we have to face that day of death, we have to face the universe of death, the afterlife. Know that there will be our people, our ancestors, our relatives, our friends, our acquaintances, folks that we interacted with, and got to see us doing all we could in every way we could to let the light, the loving light of Amen Ra shine through our lives, the things that we said, the things that we did, that they would be calling our names, wanting our spirits to be with them. Calling our names, wanting our spirits to be with them. And yet, our ancestors understood back in the early days of humanity that there were those, even as today we know that there are those who refuse to allow the rays of truth, beauty, and goodness to flow through their hearts and minds. So we have that closing statement from that first passage from the Most High. It says, "Thus I have created the divine powers from my sweat and humankind from the tears of my eyes." While the majority of those tears, I'm certain, the majority of those tears were for and are for those who will do all they can in every way they can to become generators, beings, rays of the truth, beauty, and goodness, with the spirit of the Most High living within them. Call them to rise up and do all you can in every way you can to make life more beautiful and beneficial for yourselves, for your children, for those who will come into life after you've gone. But I think also that there are probably some tears for those who were making the decision, well, y'all can go and do that truth, beauty, and goodness stuff. We're going to do this fun stuff. We're going to do what the serpent coil of evil shows us can be done. Later, for y'all, go ahead on and do what you want. So that does the loving light of Amin Ra shine within you. So in that passage from Ptah-hotep, we get a view of what life, for those who choose to do all they can in every way they can to cultivate and generate the loving lights of Amin Ra within their hearts, within our hearts and souls. And you may not be elected or appointed to some position of authority, but if the life you live, the life that we live and the love that we give inspires others to let the rays of truth, beauty, and goodness shine within their hearts, to shine within their souls, to shine within their lives. And who could ask for any higher position than that? Who could ask for any more? Because we might find more to ask for in the closing lines of the Ptah-hotep passage, and the work from Dr. Nobles, Nana Kwaku Berko, when we talk about what we do for the children, for the lives of the children. Ptah-hotep says their heart is in harmony with their tongue. Their lips are true when they speak. Talking about those ancestors and those of us who allow truth, beauty, and goodness to be of the Most High, to be the light that shines in and through us. We allow our ears to hear that which is profitable for their children, so that they, the children, may do what is right and are free from unrighteousness. Dr. Nobles states that many times in his book, that the education, the training, the consciousness raising that our children need is critically important for our survival as a people in this nation, in this world, that we must do all we can. Dr. Noble suggests and recommends that parents, that families need to have rituals in their homes. We might do it around the dinner table, or do it at whatever time of the afternoon or evening that's available and convenient for it. But they have times of rituals when we sit down with the children and talk to them about what the responsibilities are, talk to them about the desires that they might have, and let those desires become love, and let love guide them in everything that they do, and not depend on social media, not depend on the madness that is surrounding us this day, this time. From Dr. Nobles, we get that our African ancestors were the first people to develop codes of conduct that directed the social life and family purpose. Going back to review what he said in comedic thought, the three basic attributes of the life process which the family system had to direct and guide were desire, thought, and action. The development cycle was thought to reflect a process wherein desire was followed by thought. What is this that I'm desiring? We want the children, the youngsters, to think about what is this that I'm desiring? What does it all mean? How does it affect me? How does it affect the family, parents, sisters, and brothers? Which in turn, thought would become action, which gave a rise to further desire. That was considered the spiral or the wheel of life. And its aim was to perfect each cycle until all desire became pure love. And then all thought became clear understanding, and all actions became acts of sacrifice or service for the benefit of the whole. At families, Dr. Nobles, and he mentions Hakeem Akbar is one that he worked with at different times. With like the families need to have rituals. You know, we need to do it not only when we're gathered in the Wose community, gathered in our churches. We need to have that at home, where our children are there with us every day, and we need to be giving them that guidance, giving them that inspiration. And what do you want, child, son, daughter? What is it? What does that mean? How does this that you are desiring is going to affect the rest of the family? How's it going to affect your sister, your brother? What's it all about? Think about it. And what's reasonable? Well, maybe we'll find a way to get that for you. But let's go to the higher level. Let your thoughts become pure love for the family, concerned for your sisters and brothers, and they concerned for you. Let's get the cycle to go to a higher level. Because we're looking for action. It's going to be action that we can all take, that will make good sense for us as your parents, good sense for your sisters, your brothers. Or is this only about you? We need to have these rituals, these discussions at home, as well as in church or wherever else we might go. Because there's things you get exposed to at school. So many of your classmates, their guidance and direction comes from anti-social media. Their guidance comes from anti-African efforts going on now to take our history, our heritage, to keep our needs out of the curriculums of the schools you're going to. Too bad all of you couldn't have our schools with. Everybody couldn't go to an Ile Omo Day. Oh, shit. Help me, Holy One. So, oh my goodness. Yes, our ancestors were the first. This nation, in this world, full of anti-African television, full of anti-social media, full of anti-miseducation, diseducation efforts we have going on right now. And we need to be bringing forth our energy, bringing forth our efforts, letting the light shine in through us to do all we can in every way we can to liberate our children from self-destructiveness, to eliminate our children from self-hate. Among the many points that Brother Nobles and his partners raised is that in the African perception of the birth of a child, they perceive that as the rising of a living sun, S-U-N, the rising of a living sun into the upper world. Additionally, that the black sun, something in one of the languages referred to as the Wane Bibi, with Bibi being the word for black, symbolized the state of being of the sun at its brightest, most radiant moment. Wane Bibi. That BB, blackness, was never used to refer to anything negative, anything inferior. Versus what the Eurocentric folks came up with as they encountered us, and even as they borrowed from or stole from us traditions that we had established that affected their hearts and minds. They said, oh boy, we're going to do this. But somehow they decided that black was negative, black was evil. But our ancestors, they knew that blackness is never to be used in that way. Blackness is the highest level of truth, beauty, and goodness in the universe, the highest expression and shower of love from the Most High, the highest shower of truth, beauty, and goodness showered upon us that we know as the Most High's desire, that we would desire to be one with the Most High through the sun, the power, the showers of the sun.
That's right.
So we with our families, we need to encourage our friends, our families, our relatives. Some of us need it, ourselves to have these rituals, these discussions, this bring this spirit, this consciousness of life, that the birth of a child is like the rising of the sun in our lives. And we want that child to learn what that represents and what he or she is capable of doing, and not be torn down by anti-African, anti-social media and other stuff that's going on. We definitely need to have that loving light radiating through parents and elders throughout this nation and all over the world. Does the loving light of Amen Ra live in you? Does the loving light? We all need to examine ourselves. Does it live within me? Am I doing all I can every day I can, every way that I can to share that light with the young people that I know, to share that light with people that I work, my co-workers, to share that light with other members of my family who might have some other religious dedication other than the sacred African way. But let's find the commonalities. Let's find the common. If you're a Christian and you go into the church and they're teaching you, if they're teaching you that with Jesus on his way to one of the stories, I don't remember exactly what book and what chapter, Jesus is on his way to the crucifixion, and folks were saying different things and worried about that. Jesus said, I'm on my way to go to the Father. And what I have done, you can do, and even greater. What does that mean, folks? You don't put everything in the hands of Jesus. Jesus is putting it back in your hands. We are understanding that the Most High is putting it into our hands. And there's that passage that is in the book of Acts somewhere, I think it is, about when 2 or 3 of you gather in my name, if you gather in my spirit, what you bind up or set loose on earth is bound or set loose in heaven. The Most High is giving us that energy, calling us to let that light shine in and through us. In the Wose community of the Sacred African Way, in the Church of God in Christ, in the Baptist Church, wherever we are as a people, We've got to be about that business, taking care of ourselves, of getting our people out of the practice of going to prison, the practice of taking drugs to satisfy whatever needs they feel they have. We need to get that spirit working in us and working through us, that light of the Most High shining in us, through us, light of truth, beauty, goodness, and love. To get it to our brothers and sisters, and especially to get it to our children. Get it to our children. For Brother Nobles, it's like our survival as a people on this, in this country and on the face of this earth requires that kind of movement, that kind of energy, that kind of dedication. It's the light of Amin Ra, the loving light of Amin Ra, live in and through you. So as we give thanks for the blessings and the empowerment that we have received through discovery and recovery of our sacred African way, through our communities, folks say, in Oakland as well as in Sacramento, and the awesome work of our school, Ile Omode. If you don't know, I'm telling you that what Ile Omode says is it's the house of the children. That's what Ile Omode means. So we need to go forward, knowing that there's more work to be done. We need to go forward. There are more blessings to be known. We need to go forward, knowing that more light needs to shine with truth, beauty, and goodness. So let's do all that we can. Let's do all that we can, every day we can, every way that we can, to recruit more members to the Wosei community. We need to really take some time to sit down with a plan and decide what are the things that might be most effective. We're going to draw and attract more people to this community, to this movement, to this spirit, to this restoration of truth, beauty, and goodness in ourselves, the unity of love within ourselves, within our people, everywhere. What do we need to do? Those brothers and sisters, young and old, that are out on street corners that don't know what to do with themselves. Brothers and sisters who are in different organizations that are just surviving from day to day. Can we invite some of them? Can we encourage some of them to join us in the Wosei community? We might be able to help you with that organization that you're in already. Take it to a higher level. Bring you to a higher level with us. We need to do all we can in every way we can. Get with our brothers and sisters in the churches they might be in. That church right next door to in Oakland will say that as I understand it, when they do when they were doing, I don't know if they're still doing it, that monthly gathering of food to share with homeless people out on the street, at the top of their list, they've had what do you need at Ile Omode that we can help you with this food that we have gathered? And some food came from them, Ile Omode. What can we do? Take something to them, something of the spirit, something in consciousness, something in the light of Amin Ra. They want to continue being Baptists, that's okay. But what we want to do is work together to touch the lives of so many of our people that don't know who they are, have little or no dedication, little or no spirit of the Most High living in them and through them. They're thinking about, let's see, what kind of robbery can I take this week to get a little bit of money to do something? How to get a little money to get some more cocaine or whatever. We need to get more dedication to erasing that madness amongst our people. Churches, organizations, families, individuals. We need to do more to get the light of the Most High, that loving light of Amin Ra, to shine in and through more of our people and really do the job needed to save our children from destruction, self-hate. Let's do all we can. Let's do all we can. Make our lives more beautiful and beneficial through the loving power of the loving light of Amen Ra living in and through you and me. The light of Amen Ra is mine. And I'm gonna let it shine. I'm gonna let it shine. This light is mine. I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. So let's rise up, sisters and brothers. Let's rise up. Love and unity. Let's rise up. Do all we can to share sacred divinity. Ashe. Ashe.
Ashe.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Beautiful
Sante
message,
Sana.
Minister Mxolisi. Beautiful message.
Our babies are rising sun. Sante Sana.
Ashe. You know, I just appreciate so much a message that gets to the meat, you know. I mean, the side items and all of that are good, but I appreciate a message that gets to the meat of things, to what we need to do and how we need to do it and what our mindset should be in order to help to get us there. I appreciate that very much. I just think that Minister Mxolisi has a way with that, cutting the fat and giving you what you need, and I can appreciate that. We just thank you. Amen, Ra. We thank you. At this time, if there are any out there who have heard the words that were coming through our Minister Mxolisi and who feel as though this is something they want to know more about, feel as though maybe they've been here a few times and have not truly decided to make a commitment to this church or perhaps any other church, we welcome you to Wose. We welcome you to Wose community. We welcome you to a different way of doing things and a different way of thinking about things. And it's just like what Minister Mxolisi said with regard to whether or not we're interacting with a Baptist church or Episcopalian church or whatever it might be. There are some fundamentals which are within the Nguzo Saba. There are some fundamentals which are within Mott that don't say you need to necessarily change that. It just says that you need to be able to support truth, justice, righteousness, balance, order, harmony. It says that you need to understand that as a community, we need to work together. It says that we want to do things to leave the places where we are, where we be, in a better situation that they were in when we first got there. These are things that are more about your character. These are things that are more about what you can't help that's in you, which is Septepi power, because it was put in all of us. So after that, it's just a matter of whether or not you're going to use that in a way that supports your people being in your home, your family, your neighborhood, your community, your creed first. So if you have a thought that you're pulled towards this way of thinking, this way of being, then we invite you to come to Wose. We invite you to learn more about us. We invite you to meet with our ministers and our community, our elders, and to find out more about who we are, who we be, and where you belong within that, where you can fit and grow within that. So I'm going to turn on the gallery view just for a moment so that I don't overlook anybody that's out there saying, what about me? I'm ready. What about me? I want to go with you. What about me? What about me? I know that's how I was. I was like, take me. I don't know where you guys are going, but take me with you and teach me along the way. And it ended up being a minister. How about that? All right. Is there one? One or 10? I'll take either number. Okay. And if not, we love you anyway for coming. We love you for being curious. We love you that you got your toe in the water and checking us out. And we will be here next Sunday to give you more and hope that maybe next Sunday would be the one where you say, take me.